So, welcome to this next episode of Your Music, Your Story. Today, we're talking with Tom from the band Cadaver Pudding. How's it going?
Pretty good, man. How are you?
Good, good. I'm not gonna lie, I haven't chuckled in a while listening to music.
I'm glad we could help you out there.
Because first one day when I was talking with Dave, he's like, "Yeah, you can call, Cadaver Pudding," and I was like, "That's a name." So I had a chuckle with that one, and then
Yeah, people always ask, they're like, you guys have such a weird name. Like, where did you come up with that? And I hate to break the theories and things like that, but we literally were looking to put a band together for a friend's wedding and needed a name, and we went on a name generator online and that popped up and we are like, that's hilarious, and so we kept it.
And did you play a wedding with that name?
We did. So starting off, the band started because me and a keyboard player buddy of mine that play in another band out of San Bernardino called the Order of the Fly. We had a friend that was getting married, and he wanted Order originally to play his wedding. And we couldn't do that because our bass player singer was going on tour filling in on bass duties for somebody else. And when we realized he was filling in for the guy getting married, so apparently the guy getting married had no idea that was happening. And so otherwise he wouldn't have asked us to play in the first place. Well, we told him, we were like, hey, if you want just covers, we could put a band together and just play covers for your wedding the whole time. And he was like, that sounds great. And I said, okay, well, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to get a little weird on you because he's a goth friend of ours out in LA. And so we hired, well, I wouldn't say hired because we didn't pay them. They're just friends of ours. Some guys out in LA to do special effects. One of the main guys is Glenn Hetrick. He was the main judge on Face Off for years and years when that was going on. Um, he did all of our makeup as zombies, and so we were in full prosthetic zombie makeup, and we each wore a different color suit to this wedding, and we played covers the whole time, and it was just some friends getting together. And then we played as a cover band for quite a while before we started writing our own songs, and they all came out as comedy songs because we couldn't take ourselves seriously. And the the zombie aesthetic just kind of slowly died off because we got lazy and didn't want to do it every single time. And so now it's turned into it was like a five-piece band when it started doing covers, and now it's a tiny little three-piece punk band singing about dicks and fart jokes. So,
those are the best ones.
right.
So, who all's in the band with you guys now?
So right now it is me playing guitar with some vocals, and then our bass player and singer is Nate, and he was in a longtime Riverside band called Slow Children for a really long time. And then our drummer is our good friend John, who has played drums here and there for a lot of random people and filled in when I needed him with all kinds of music stuff. So it's just the three of us.
Okay, how long's it been just the three of you?
Um, it's been a three-piece band for since before COVID. So probably I would say about 5 years now.
Okay, not too bad. So,
Yeah,
when we was on Bandcamp looking at some of your albums, so you had one that came out in 2020 and the one that came out in 2021. So, even during COVID, you guys were still doing stuff?
we were the first one that came out in 2020 has our first singer on it named Jason. He was actually the keyboard player in Order of the Fly that started Cadaver with me, and we worked on that for quite a while. We had the songs playing shows with them and stuff like that for quite a while, and then decided to finally get into the studio. We recorded the entire thing and then didn't like how it came out at all. So we decided to go back to a completely different studio. We ended up adding a lead guitar player in the band and then re-recording all of those songs. to then put it out in 2020. And Jason left like directly after that, and we kicked out the other lead guitar player and kept it as three from then on.
So was Jason on your brain freeze? Was he the one that brought you the Slurpees? Is that the same one?
He is, yeah, that's Jason. We've every time we've done a video of some sort or anything like that, we've always included him, even though he's not part of the band anymore. He left mostly because of like work obligations, and so he brought the Slurpees and brain freeze in our makes no sense video. He was eating Arby's and telling Nate "fuck you" for talking bad about Arby's. So we've tried to include him on pretty much anything. The
This song makes no sense like apple flavored oranges or people who like baseball. Like virgin margaritas or vegans who hate PETA. This song makes no fucking sense. This song makes no sense like a truthful president or people who like Arby's. Fuck you. Like Alaskan nudists or war supporting nudists. This song makes no fucking sense. This song makes no sense. We hold this truth self-evident like squatters who love hygiene. Like a straight edge party or ketchup and Bacardi. This song makes no fucking sense. Like tacos who say Friday nights, like patient bets on tickle fights, like using leather flying kites, like pilots who are afraid of heights, like Michael Vick watching your dog or eating hell and killing fly, like people who wear London fog, like grown men who still play with balls, like throwing it on first and goal, like jumping into us and cold, like wearing boots without the soul. I think I've got out of control. Yeah.
the last song on the Three-Legged Jokemobile record is actually one he sings, and we recorded that on an iPad one day when we were bored with cigar box guitars that he made. And we literally did that because one day in practice, before he left the band, our bass player at the time, who is no longer playing with us, he couldn't make practice. And so we were like, well, that's a bummer. And decided to, excuse me, I'm about to sneeze. He couldn't make practice. So we decided to create an entire new band without him. And Jason brought cigar box guitars that he'd been working on at home. We plugged them into amps. He had a phone, like a corded phone that he turned into a microphone. And so it had like an old timey sound to it and everything. And we wrote an entire song that day, then shot an entire music video for it that day, and never did anything with the song besides that. And so when we were putting out this next record, we decided to throw it on there just so it could exist for other people to hear.
So other people can enjoy it.
Yes, that's an interesting one too. That the story behind that one, too much ham on this hoagie, is a story about our old drummer, who actually is Order of the Fly's current drummer, the big incestual music scene that we have going on. He ended up getting really plastered and banging a girl in the front yard of a friend's house during my birthday party. And we wrote a whole song about how it was gross. And, and the day he came back in after that, that conversations that were had were just not okay. So we had to document them in music form.
So did he know that was what it was about at first?
He did. He completely knew. And he came, and the video we shot, he was there at the house, and we shot the whole music video about him, and he was totally fine with it. He thought it was great.
That cracks me up. Hey, at least he has a good attitude.
Right, exactly. I don't know how she feels about it, because she knows it exists too, and they were not together, and we were not very kind in the lyrics, but I think she's gotten past it by now.
Hopefully she's moved on.
Mm-hmm.
That's awesome. So how do you guys write your music? Do you have one of you writes most of them, or you just kind of whatever happens?
So when Jason was our singer, and then now with Nate being our singer, I find that they're very similar guys, even though their singing styles are pretty different. And it worked out really easily for me because transitioning from one to the other was like seamless because they're the same person, and the way that they write a lot of lyrics is it's just a random thought that pops into their brain, and I'll get a voice message from them driving to work or something, and it's half a song of random bullshit, and I'm like, oh, this is great. And then I'll work on riffs and stuff like that, or Nate will come up with riffs on his own, bring them to us and that kind of thing. So a lot of lyric wise, it's random thoughts that just get put into something. Like just yesterday, I was trying to remember or figure out, I'm not remember because I'm creating it and I don't think it exists, at least unless someone else can tell me the difference with, you know what a lot lizard is?
Uh-uh.
So a lot lizard is like a hooker at truck stops. So when a trucker goes to a truck stop, they see girls walking around the parking lot and they're considered or called lot lizards. So I was always curious. I'm like, it'd be funny. What's the bowling equivalent to a lot lizard? And talking to Jason last night, we were trying to figure it out. And I think it's going to be a gutter gecko is going to be like the bowling hooker. And so now I need to write a song called Gutter Gecko. And that'll be a fun one.
That cracks me up. Oh, dear. So do you guys take turns singing? Like, or I mean, I don't want to say take turns, but you both sing.
Yeah. Nate sings on the newest stuff, the newest record and the EP for Your Ears. Nate sings most of it, and there's a couple songs, like, I don't know, 3 or 4 that I do vocals on mainly.
Okay. So I'm not gonna lie, when I listen to your Betty White song, I was cracking up.
We felt so bad because we wrote that, and I swear to God, she died 2 months later.
Yeah, I was thinking, I don't know when it came out, but I was thinking, man, if you'd written that just a little bit longer, maybe it would have been a sad song.
Yeah, it came out before she died, but man, it was not long before she died.
Steve Irwin, David Bowie, Robin Williams, and Kobe all died way before Betty White. Tupac and John Lennon are both up in heaven, and she's still down here living her best life. She outlived Sonny Bono, Michael Jackson is DeSoto. She's a golden girl who just won't die. Freddie Mercury, Black Panther, I think she's still the answer to the secrets of eternal life. She was born in 1922, and if you're not careful, she'll outlive you. I know this might sound kinda crazy, but she even outlived Patrick Swayze, Billy Mays, and Kurt Cobain, that dude from Jefferson Airplane, Amy Winehouse, and Biggie Smalls. Betty White's outlived them all. John Connery is Creed, Gary Coleman, John Kennedy, Chris Farley, Farrah Fawcett, Kennedy was still in office. Carrie Fisher, Henry James, Lowell Dawson, other names all died before Betty White. We all love Betty White. Long live Betty White.
And so now every time we play the song live, we have to preface it and say, I swear to God, we wrote this before. It doesn't make any sense now because she's definitely dead, but it was a good song.
Before her death, it was good. It was good.
Yes. Now it's just a little tongue in cheek, I guess, at that point.
Do people sing along with it?
On occasion, there's a couple random little parts that people really like. When Nate's just streaming off all those other people's names and stuff like that, there's the guy. God, what is the actual words? You can tell I don't pay attention very well. I don't remember now. Oh my God. I played a show last night with the other band, and I'm still not all together in the brain. I'll be
Still
honest
recovering.
with you. Yeah.
Yeah, that was funny. It'll crack me up. Oh man. So when you guys do you guys like Slurpees? Is that where your brain freeze one came from? Just or was it just a hey, you
That
remember
was 100%. Nate's a contractor, and so he's driving around to different places all the time, and so he spends a lot of time in gas stations because he can't ask to like poop and pee at these people's houses and things like that he's working on. So he'll end up using gas stations all the time, and he likes Slurpees, and he would screw himself up pretty frequently when it came to brain freezes.
Who dares observe band practice? Jason! Hey, Jason! Stick out your thumb! Put it in your mouth! Push on the roof of your mouth!
Oh my god, I feel better.
Nate, you want some of my Slurpee?
Ooh, what flavor is it?
It's blue.
Oh, I love blue flavor.
Yeah! Brain freeze! Brain freeze! Ah! Brain freeze! Brain freeze! Oh! Brain freeze! Brain freeze! Ah! Brain freeze! Brain freeze! Yeah!
he never
We-
learned?
No, God, no. And doing that, like, we wanted to write a very heavy song compared to all of our other things and stuff like that. And we just told our drummer, we're like, go for it. And he's like, all right, and played as much double bass and blast beats as he could pull off, and it was fun.
Yeah, that song just cracked me up. And then your video was funny too. That made me laugh too.
Yeah,
So-
that was a fun time.
When the talking, was that just you guys talking, or whatever it was, is having your Slurpee conversation in the middle?
Yeah, we just recorded that in the studio and thought it was funny, like putting in a joke. And there's another song on that record too where John actually goes too long when he was recording his drums, and we just never took it out. So then we recorded vocals over that, like trying to act like we were in the other room, telling him to stop. Like, the song's over, John. You don't have to
We're
keep
going
playing.
home.
Yeah. And it was just he recorded too long during the session, and we just left it that way.
Oh, nice.
Every single morning I get the same old itch, try and gather up some coins so I can get my fix. Feeling like a junkie when I get the shakes. The muscles in my arms are always in pain. He's got a bad habit, he obeys the law. He's chasing the dragon, he's obsessed with the claw. He's got a bad habit, but he obeys the law. He's chasing the dragon, he's obsessed with the claw machine. Tom, think of the kids, man, you gotta fix yourself. I played every window and every Denny's too. They say everyone's a winner, but I know that's not true. They say I've got a problem and I need to change. I've got plenty in my pocket, so get out of my way. the claw. He's got a bad habit, but he obeys the law. He's chasing the dragon, he's obsessed with the claw machine.
John, you gotta stop. John, the song's over, John. John, cut it out. The neighbors are fucking. John, we know. We're John, stop it, John. The song's over. It's fucking. John. I give up, dude. That's it. We're walking out of the room. We're walking out of the room. Fuck it.
Woo! Hey, where'd everyone go?
Where'd you guys record it at?
With a friend of ours called Lunchbox Studios, and he was out in Sun City for a long time and just recently moved. I honestly don't know where. It's like up and above LA somewhere. I don't know what the actual city's called at this point, but we have we're going back to record or scratch track another 6 songs with him in July, the beginning of July.
Oh, nice. So when you guys did your the three-legged Jokemobile, where'd you guys record that one at?
So that one was all Lunchbox as well. Every recording that is on like Spotify and stuff like that has all been his.
Okay, nice. How long does it take you to do your recordings? Are you guys an in and out kind of band, or you spend a while doing them?
The first one, I think we spent more time than anything, and that was literally because we went back and forth. We, ended up scrapping the whole record and redoing it at a different place. The first time we did it was a different spot, and then the one that came out is through Lunchbox, and we've just stuck with him the entire time after that. But going forward as a 3-piece band, man, we can go in there and like completely finish almost 5 songs in one day's sit down, and that's like start drums, guitar, bass, and vocals completely in a day.
Dang, that's pretty good. Heck yeah! Plus, you
It's
save
pretty
money.
quick.
Something like that.
Yeah.
When you guys did your album a second time, what was the second time like? Was it kind of more frustrating? Were you doing it again, or are you like, you know what? Hey, we're doing it. We're just moving on.
That one, yeah, that one, it kind of I feel it went by faster because we had known these songs and played these songs for so long. The only real difference was adding that other guitar player, and all he was doing was slight little accents here and there that he wrote and recorded in the studio before. We didn't even hear them before that. He did it all right then and there, and we were like, yeah, no, those all work. There was one that we were like, I don't care for that, you can take that back out. But otherwise it was quick. It was, I want to say we did the whole thing in 2 days.
Nice.
I think the only song that wasn't recorded there was the Dream Beaver song that's on there. That was recorded originally for a movie, and our singer in Order of the Fly, Ralph, he recorded that at his studio. We have Order of the Fly has our own little studio practice pad kind of place, and we record all of our own stuff there for Order. But when it was time for Cadaver to do stuff, I always just went to Lunchbox instead. But we recorded Dream Beaver there with Ralph.
Okay. So what's Sporty Spice can spit in my mouth?
I don't know where that came from. That was we had an old bass player that said that one time, and it became 30 seconds of nonsense of a song, because like I actually do kind of like Spice World, the movie. So saying that I don't like it on the song is kind of not true. But we played a show not too long ago, maybe a couple months ago, and a guy came up to us and he was like, hey man, I just want to let you know that my kid loves your record. And I was like, how old is your kid? And he's like 7. And I was like, why are you letting your 7-year-old listen to this record? And I was like, there's a lot of songs he should not listen to at all. And he goes, no, he loves it. He always asks for it. And he's like, you want to know what song he likes the most? And I was like, what song is that? And he was like, Sporty Spice. And I was like, really? And he goes, yeah, he asked me to put that song on every day on his way to school. I was like, oh my God, I don't know if you're the best parent or the worst parent I've ever met. I can't tell.
That is kind of funny. Well, hey, start them off right, or like I said, wrong. Who knows?
Yeah, right. Exactly.
Time will tell. That is funny. Oh.
They were really popular in the 90s. Sporty Spice spit in my mouth. They had a couple really good tunes. Sporty Spice spit in my mouth. The movie wasn't all that good. Sporty Spice spit in my mouth. Ginger had the really big boobs. Sporty Spice spit in my mouth. Sporty Spice spit in my mouth. Sporty Spice spit in my mouth. Sporty Spice spit in my mouth.
So are you guys going to stick a 3-piece? You're just going to hang out there?
I think so. Jason's career has changed quite a bit. He ended up getting cancer, getting like this bone cancer that put him out for quite a while, and he's back and he's playing shows in Order of the Fly again, and things are going really well, and we've been talking a lot about stuff and throwing ideas back and forth and that kind of thing. And so there's a lot of talk about him hanging out. He's going to go to the recording studio with us in July and just kind of throw out ideas and hang out and just get his input on things. I don't know if we'll add him back in the band per se, but it's nice to have him around. And, you know, he's a good friend and stuff like that. And he's a real smart guy, but it's just so much easier being a 3-piece band. It really, really is.
Oh, yeah. 3 pieces are nice. I tell you that.
Yeah. You know,
When it was, we were in the retcons, so it was me, Dave, and Todd. I mean, it was just nice. I don't know why 3. I mean, Alex, when we got 4, wasn't terrible, but it changed.
right.
Or you didn't think it was really that big of a deal, but there was a change there.
Yeah. And then you have guys like the Undercover Monsters that have like 8. And, you know, they love it, I guess. I don't know. Dave's a crazy man.
Well, he's like, hey, dude, we want to record some songs at your house. I'm like, all right, yeah, come on by. And so I was like, all right, we got our good drums. Steven came over, and then Emily did some bass. And then he's like, okay, we have 3 guitars. I'm like, what the hell are you doing with 3 guitars? Well, just make it sound good with the 3 wherever it works. I don't know how that works, but okay.
So one on the left, one on the right, and one right in the middle. Little of both.
Yeah. But yeah, well, whatever floats their boat, I guess.
Right.
So when you guys, let's just say, when you guys play a show and somebody, I don't know, your drummer or somebody's missing, would they fill in from your Cadaver Order of the Flies? Is there like a little bit of a crossing there?
So there has been for certain things. Drummer wise works out pretty well. Our drummer John has played in Order of the Fly and Cadaver Pudding multiple times. So he is able to pop in back and forth. So that's really good. Besides that, that's probably about it. We haven't had like any bass duties or anything like that switching back and forth, but John's a hell of a drummer that can play in either style. So that's good.
Oh, that's nice. Yeah, I mean, some of the videos I watch, I mean, and plus these 2 albums, I mean, he's solid. He's just a good, solid drummer.
Yeah, it's so weird because like he ended up he lost a toe not too long ago and had to quit playing drums for a while. We also wrote a song about that, which I think will be in this next batch of songs. It's what was it? He's got 9 toes but a 10-inch dick or something like that. I don't know. We'll be. But so he was out for quite a while, and we had some fill-in drummers and stuff like that. And I know some really good drummers, and it's just always so different without John. Just something about John's playing, it's so natural and easy, and he never looks like he's stressed back there, and he's always doing a hell of a job. And his speed is unmatched by any of the other people that I've played with in quite a long time. So I really like it.
Well, I'd give you, I mean, like you're talking about some of it, his double bass stuff and the brain freeze. I mean, you don't get a whole lot of punk drummers that can really do some double bass, let alone just some good, solid, just clean, fast double bass. Maybe just some slower ones, but they were clean. I got to hand it to him.
Yeah, he was very excited to do that. He's played in a lot of metal bands and stuff like that. Not that did a whole lot, but just for fun. And so when he's in Order, there's quite a bit of double bass that he throws into things or adds to or things like that. And so he's got the practice for it for sure.
Nice. All righty. So, so you've got your songs, your 6 songs or so that you guys are going to go into the studio. A lot of bands nowadays are just doing singles. They're just going to release one at a time. Are you guys going to do that? Or are you going to do the whole album, or what you guys is playing?
So what we've been doing, the last little EP we did that has that Betty White and Brain Freeze on it, is called For Your Ears. And we did that digitally, didn't put it on a CD or a vinyl or anything like that. And we're thinking of just doing the same thing for this one, and possibly just we're going back and forth, but we may do two more like this and then put them out on a full length record after that. So there'll be like 3 digital EPs that'll come out within the next, year or so, and then put out the full length with all 3 of them together.
Okay. And would you put it on like vinyl and CD and everything, or just CD or what? I don't know, digital or something.
We'll do CDs probably for sure. They tend to sell decently well when it comes to shows and things like that. But I would like to definitely put it on a vinyl record. It would be the first one that Cadaver's done. Order's done a handful, but this would be the first one Cadaver's done. And I've always wanted to, and I keep going back and forth with how short our songs are. I can almost fit everything we have currently on one 12-inch record if I mix it all together. So I'm thinking of doing like I don't want to call them hits, but a best of situation, take out a few songs that I really don't care for anymore, and then putting all of that onto one record before this new one comes out.
Okay. So I don't know anything about records other than we used to listen to them in the 80s. That's all I know. How much time can you put on a record? Like, I guess I had no idea how much time there is on a record.
Yeah, if I remember correctly, last time I looked at it, it was like 27 minutes or something like that per side. And our entire Joke Mobile album, with it being like 20 something songs or whatever it is still under 30 minutes. So I can fit that whole thing on one side, and then our whole first record on the other side, and then take out a couple and throw in some other little ones here and there, and pretty much fit them all on there.
That would be pretty cool. Although I have heard
It'd be a hell of a lot of music. That's for sure.
I've heard there's a huge issue with getting records nowadays.
Yeah, it's been pretty bad. The time frame and stuff like that is pretty rough. The last Order of the Fly record took, I want to say, 11 months to press and get back to us. Yeah, so we were sitting on that thing for such a long time, and we did, when we were pressing that, we were starting to put out singles going forward, that kind of thing. So I think that's going to be the idea for the next Order of the Fly record as well, which is also done. And so we're going to send that off and then put out a single every, like, I don't know, month-ish or so, and get 3 or 4 of them out there before the records end up coming back. I hear they're supposed to be faster than they were, but yeah, the last Order record was almost a year before it came back to us.
Yeah, that's got to be frustrating for you guys. I mean, what do you do? Just, hey, well, here's the digital. We might have the record someday.
Right, exactly. It's really hard to do like pre-sales and stuff like that, because no one wants to buy something and wait 8, 9, 10, 11 months for it. That's rough.
And you really don't have, they don't give you a good time frame. Oh, look, we might have it in 8 months. You're just like, hey, you get it when you get it.
Yeah, it can be rough. And it's hard because like all of that money is just straight out of your pocket if you're not doing any pre-sales or anything like that. So it's hard to shell out, what, $1,500 for I don't know, 600, not even. It's probably 300 records, and it was almost over $2,000. So sitting on that much money is kind of a bummer, and not making any of it back for quite a while.
Oh, yeah, that's got to hurt. That's a big chunk of cash just for who knows when.
Yeah, I did see a website that was pretty neat, and it's similar to like a Kickstarter type of situation. And they're a record site, and you set how many records you want to sell. They give you a month worth of time for pre-sales. If you sell all of those records, the plant will then make them, press them, do everything, ship them to the people that bought them directly. So you don't even have to do any of the work, and all those records will go out. And it said those have a turnaround time of like less than 3 months. So if that site is accurate, then it might be a pretty awesome way to go.
Yeah, that'd be a whole lot more convenient, because that seems a lot more reliable. then well,
Yeah, definitely.
who knows? You might get it.
Yeah.
By the time a lot of people get it, they'll be like, I totally forgot about this.
I do that kind of thing because I like Kickstarters a lot because I like comic books a lot, and a lot of indie creators have a way to put out their own books through Kickstarter, and so I end up pledging to them quite frequently, and they'll tell you like the estimated date of when things are going to arrive, and some Kickstarters will flat out tell you it won't be there till like literally a year after. And so at least you know that, but at the same time, you forget by the time it gets there, and it's like Christmas in July sometimes, and there's nothing wrong with that at all.
That's right. I totally forgot about this. So do you go to Comic-Con each year?
I do. Yeah. I've been to San Diego Comic Con for, I think, the last 10 years in a row, give or take. Do a lot of little local shows. And there's one in Chicago called C2E2 that I've gone to the last 3 years. I have friends from all over the US. There's about 8 of us every year that all fly out to Chicago and get an Airbnb together and spend the weekend at the convention, and it's a lot of fun. So
I'm not. Is that one as big as down in San Diego? Is like same.
no, it's probably the equivalent to the San Diego's like sister convention, which is called WonderCon in Anaheim. It's just a smaller version of San Diego, and it's probably the Chicago one's probably about that size, which is it's a good size show for sure, but San Diego is just unbeat with the amount of people. I want to say one year I looked it up and it was over 350,000 people that are down in San Diego for that. And yeah, it's insane. You get like some of the alleyways you're trying to walk through to look at things shoulder to shoulder with people, so it's almost guaranteed you'll come home sick. Yeah, you'll get the con crud as they call it, because there's no way that you're not catching something being that close to people from all over the world. Like someone's going to have something that your body doesn't like.
That's awesome. Yeah, Dave would always tell me, because I don't know anything about comic books. He's like, but you at least it's worth it to go at least once just to see whatever goes on.
Right, it's true. And with San Diego Comic Con, the cool part about that is there's so much outside of the actual convention center that you can go explore without even having a badge to the show. So you can just go down there, park your car, and hang out in downtown. And there's tons of stuff. There's booths that are set up and events and things like that. All of the restaurants and stuff will have themed drinks and food for the whole weekend at Gas Lamp. And yeah, there's all kinds of stuff going down there for that weekend, which is like, I don't know, not even about a month away now. It's pretty cool.
So do you create a costume or make stuff when you go down?
I'm definitely very lazy. I do not do any of it. I take a backpack and some comic books that I may have like to meet a creator or something, that kind of thing. But otherwise, I'm just there buying stuff and lugging it all back home somehow.
So do you go with a few things and come home with many things?
Correct. Every time. The funnest one, I think, or like one of the adventures of San Diego Comic Con, I had to play a show with the Order of the Fly in New Jersey. There was like a horror punk festival thing called God, what was it called? Ghouls Night Out. And it was like a 2-day festival type thing for a bunch of like horror punk bands. And they booked us on the Sunday out of the Saturday, Sunday. And so it was the Sunday of Comic Con. And I was not very excited about that, but that's okay. It's the last day of Comic Con. So I ended up having to leave the convention floor with like boxes of things. I bought a Swamp Thing statue as I walked out the door. That was the worst part because I thought I was good and it didn't have too much stuff. And then I saw it and I was like, I can't live without that. So I bought it. And so I'm walking out and I had to take an Uber to a friend's car and drop all my stuff in his car and then take the Uber back to the San Diego airport and fly to New Jersey to play that night.
Oh, holy cow. 'Cause that's a long flight. Wasn't that like 6 hours, 5 hours?
Yeah, it's a good 5 hours if I remember correctly.
Oh man, you were booking that one close.
Yeah. Don't mess with my Comic-Con, man.
I'll take you out of the knees, son.
All right.
Uh, so you guys got some shows coming up?
So we do. We have not a whole lot. We have that recording going on, and then we have a show booked in August, actually with Undercover Monsters at the Union Barber and Beer Place in Corona.
Oh, the bar, yeah, barber, well, yeah, whatever it is.
Yeah, I can't remember the actual name. It's Union something, Barber Beer something or other.
Oh, that's kind of cool. I don't know. I've heard suspicious things about Undercover Monsters and their drummer.
Yeah, I haven't heard exactly what happened there. So that is I saw posts of leaving, and then I went, oh, okay. So maybe we have a show still. Maybe we don't. Maybe they'll call our drummer. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe. Because when I talk with Dave, he's like, "Well, we can call up you or Josh." So, yeah. Hey, yeah, I'd play again, but I had to chuckle. And I don't really know everything that happened, but it's just like, huh. All right, whatever.
Mhm.
All right.
Yeah,
So, oh,
I can't even guarantee that our drummer is going to be there. To be honest with you,
uh-oh.
yeah, he's gone back and forth with his injury and that kind of thing. So we've had those fill-ins come back and forth. So we have a guy that is a really good fill-in, and we like him a lot, and he's done a lot of stuff for us. But the only problem is he lives in Las Vegas, so getting him out here to play a show, a one-off type of thing, can be a bummer, especially if it's like a Friday, because he works during the week and then has to drive 3.5 hours to get here. So it's got to be worth it for him. So
Yeah,
we'll
that's
see.
tough. So how often does his toe limit him from playing? Is it very often?
It goes back and forth. It's better recently, that's for sure, because for a while there he couldn't play drums at all, and he started teaching himself to play with his left foot as his kick instead of his right, and he played 2 shows with his left foot with us. And if you didn't know any difference, if you weren't a drummer yourself or paying super close attention, you would have no idea. Like, he pulled that off so well with his left foot. I was super surprised. So he's done a couple of those when his foot's acting up on him, but it's been a lot better recently. But I think some work things have come up to where he's a little more restricted on time.
I got you. Hey, that's pretty good though, because I've done that before. Let me get my double bass and just try the left foot. Man, that left foot is mildly handicapped. It just does not work.
Has a mind of its own for sure.
No, on one. Dang it, on one.
I don't know if it's the excessive use of double bass that he can do, that's helped him out a bit. But yeah, he pulled off some shows with that left foot. I was very, very surprised.
Oh, nice. Good for him. Good for him. I guess that's what makes you a good drummer.
Right.
You can adapt when your one foot don't work. Hey, we got another one over here.
Right, exactly. I found a video one time of a drummer that had no right foot at all, and it was just like a stump at his knee, and he had like this little pad underneath his thigh, and the pad had a stick attached to the bass pedal. And so he would just like slap his thigh down on this pad, and it would push on the kick drum for him. And I told John, I was like, hey man, if it gets to this, we'll lop that leg off and you'll be fine, because we got one of these things and you'll be all right.
They've already created such things.
Yeah, see, if Def Leppard can pull it off with one hand, who cares with one foot? That's fine.
Yeah, 2 foot schmoo foot. It was a jazz band one time, and when you hear the bass player, I wasn't watching him, but I mean the dude was slapping and popping all over the place, and you're like, oh man, this dude's great. So you go over and you're just watching him play. He had no thumb from like here to here.
Oh
So,
wow!
like using like one of his knuckles that you just like twist it, and the other one, like, well, hey, I guess if you're creative, you can make whatever you want work.
Right? That's amazing. That's like I saw the other day. I think it was like Authority Zero or something. Like, their guitar player, his arm stops like right below his elbow, and he's got this thing attached to it that holds a pick and just uses that to strum and everything. I was like, damn, dude, like, good for you.
Yeah, ain't keeping a good man down.
Right?
No missing limbs here.
Hey man, if music is your life and you're that dedicated, you'll find a way to get around it.
Yeah. Well, true on that one. True on that one. All right, Tom. Well, thanks for joining me today. Good luck on your guys' recording, and hopefully your drummer's foot flows better.
Thank you, sir. I appreciate it. Thanks for having me.
All right. I'll have a good afternoon.
You too.
All right. Bye.
Hey!